stop playing.
Let me ask y'all this. Would y'all say that 97% of this whole conversation that Deion had with Rich Eisen, you think he's talking about black kids, or we talking about white kids?
He's talking about all, because let me tell you.
Whoa,
hold on. Let me tell you.
Whoa.
So now I got this money, I got the car, I got mama out the house, she not smoking crack no more, daddy not drinking, I got all this. And y'all came looking for this monster, so now what y'all gonna do with it?
I've listened to everything y'all said. Y'all said some very good stuff and made some very good points. But let me tell you why all of y'all are completely wrong.
So what's next with B-Dub?
All right, so everybody's favorite coach, Coach Prime. He was on the Rich Eisen show, and the conversation started. They was talking. Rich Eisen asked him about Jalen Hurts, and he was just showing appreciation for Jalen Hurts and the type of player he is, whatever. And so Rich asked him, he was like, well, now that you've been coaching for a little while and you get to sit in these living rooms and talk to these kids and scout these kids or whatever, how do you find that next Jalen Hurts? Basically, how do you evaluate your players is what he's asking him. And Deion had a pretty interesting response. We'll check it out.
He's a winner. You can say what you want about him. At the end of the day, he wins and he comes up.
Can you tell who that is just by talking to him now that you're walking in the living rooms and you're seeing more and more and more?
We have different attributes: smart, tough, fast, disciplined with character. Yep. We're looking at now quarterbacks are different. Yeah. We want mother, father, dual parent. Mm-hmm. We want that kid to be 3-5 and up because he's got to be smart. Mm-hmm. Not bad decisions off the field at all, because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes in what we look for when we see a quarterback. And you would love a coach's son. Somewhere that the coach has coached him, and I'm not going down my road. I see you smiling because
I know who your quarterback is right now.
He's talking about my son. I didn't just build a template for my son, but that's what really we look for in quarterbacks. Different positions are different. Like O-lineman, I look for dual parent homes, right? A strong father that they adhered to, right? Smart kid, at least 3.3. and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah, tough. Well. Physical. Offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama. Like mama barely made the flight.
Trying to get out the mud.
And I want him to just go get it. It's a whole different attributes that you look for in different positions, and we have that stuff just chronicled. We know what we want, and we go get it.
Oh, that's a whole lot to talk about there. I remember seeing that as well, and
that's a whole segment with a recap at the end, and then a continuance for the next week. Talking nothing but straight about that, because unless he finds some way to clear that up, I am no longer a fan.
Man, Beloved, you know what? It almost sounds like he ain't no better than the slave master that was whipping the slaves. It's like, you know what? Let me get the whip myself, and let me hit you a little bit harder than what the slave master gonna do to you, man. Because
in the words of G,
come on,
G-Man, Deion wrong. He out of line for that.
Man, Deion, come on.
Sitting on that show looking sick. Don't play with me.
Deion got to clean that up, man. He got to clean it up.
He don't. Deion ain't got to do nothing.
Shut up, G-Man.
So
I can't wait to punch.
But you know what? That's equivalent. That's almost like during the slave times, whatever. When they were getting ready to auction a slave off or whatever, they looked at your genealogy, where you come from.
Yeah. But see, let me hit you with that. Let me hit you with this though. What is football?
Right.
That's what it
is all slave auction. Don't put that on
exactly.
Hold up. And then
exactly. So he's done nothing. He's done nothing but
right.
He's done nothing but adopted that mindset.
Right. The same thing as the president. Hold up. And then on top of that, dude on the panel just killing himself laughing. Like
right.
Right.
Deion, how dare
It's
you
true.
go there?
Right.
I mean, come on now. Come on, free toss. Don't do that.
Upset? Are y'all upset that it's Deion, or y'all upset it's the truth? Because Deion is telling you what the other coaches are thinking. He ain't lying.
I'm not upset that he's telling the truth, because if anything, that's what we want. But in telling the truth, make sure that you set the truth straight, because that's not all necessarily the truth. And just because that's what they require, does it make it right? No.
Yeah,
really, you stereotyping, and really you putting people in a position now to say that, okay, I'm gonna sue a recruiter because this is what I know y'all look for. Because I got this from Top Pick.
It means, okay, but if he didn't give you that, then you wouldn't have anything to base your lawsuit on. He gave you
exactly.
He gave you these instead of demonizing it. He's telling you what they all thinking.
But even though he's telling us what they're thinking, that still doesn't make it right.
None of it
still doesn't make it right.
They auctioning off black boys based on what you perform in that combine. It's a slave auction.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's a slave auction.
It's a slave auction.
But it's hurtful.
But that's a way.
But G-Man.
Somebody look like you, right? But Nick Saban can say it, and nobody got a problem with it.
No, it's all wrong.
Lord.
No, but
it's not that I don't have a problem. Anybody could have said it, and I'm gonna have an issue with it. Because let me go a little deeper. I have an issue with it because that's not necessarily true. You're saying that someone can't be a quarterback or shouldn't be a quarterback, or that's not what you look for because because this guy doesn't have a 2-parent home, so he doesn't qualify for that. So it doesn't matter who said it. The commissioner could have said it.
Right.
I'm looking at it from that point of view because that, to me, that if it gets out the way that he said it, like, do you know how many kids' dreams could be shattered just by that?
Yep.
Like that could start a whole entire domino effect.
Yep. Right. I just had a problem with it because, like, dude, man, like, why it has to be one of us that put it out there like that? You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, yes, Deion Sanders. I agree. Deion Sanders, he's spilling the inside secrets about how they look at us. But man, when you got the black man holding the whip like that, man, hitting us, man, it's almost like it feel worse when it comes from one of us. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, Deion don't lost his touch. And he don't lost his mind, really, because now you have all of these things. Now everybody's looking at you. Now, but what about your kids' home? All your kids can grow up in no 2-family home.
That's right. Come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
They didn't grow up in no 2-family home, but because everybody is hollering Deion, now you don't lost your damn mind.
And Deion didn't even grow up in a 2-parent home.
Exactly.
His mama was
hypocrisy.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't have no room to be talking about nothing like that.
I've listened to everything y'all said. And y'all said some very good stuff and made some very good points. But let me tell you why all of y'all are completely wrong.
Damn.
The only person on this panel who played defensive line and came from a single income household, let me tell you that he is 100% spot on. And if you look at it, and I'm not
wrong. I said it. I agree.
I'm talking about them three. I'm talking about them three.
Okay.
Turn your camera back.
What he said wasn't wrong. People might take it a certain type of way. I get that because we in the world of feelings. 2023 is all about jumping in your feelings. Everybody got a big pool of feelings in their backyard, and they go deep swimming every day, right? But what he's saying is true. So I come from a single income household, but my father was in my life. I had a village. I had all the men, plenty of men in my life, but still there's an edge there when you don't have both parents in the home. Yes, I can call my dad anytime I want to, and we could chop it up. Yes, he do stuff for me, whatever, but it's still a difference. And I don't know why, but it's just a difference. That's why both parents are very important. But I say this all the time. If the relationship don't work out, it don't work out. Sometimes it don't work out. It just is what it is. But kids need balance. They need estrogen and they need testosterone. They need a good balance of male and female role models. But even with that, I still played with a little bit of an edge coming from where I came from, living in the hood, not having both my parents in the home. That's how I got my aggression out. That's why I love defense. I could have played offense, but I wanted to play defense because I just want to go knock people's heads off because that was my therapy. That's what he's talking about. See, on the offensive side, it's more about finesse. On the defensive side, it's more about aggression. And this is just the reality, whether people want to accept it or not. Coming from a two-parent household doesn't guarantee nothing. But we know we've had hundreds and hundreds of years that have told us when you come from a two-parent household, most of the time you have more opportunities, you get to do more stuff because a lot of times, especially nowadays, two parents mean two incomes. So you're going to have opportunity to do more. So you have opportunity to learn more and you become more of a leader type person. That's what he's saying because the quarterback is the leader on the offense. That doesn't mean defensive players are dumb. I got a 132 IQ and made good grades in school. It's not about being dumb. He's not saying, oh, well, if you got two parents, you're smart, you can be a quarterback. If you got a single parent, you dumb and you just go hit people. No, but defensive players have to play with a certain type of aggression that offensive players don't have. That's why defensive players are always making fun of offensive players and calling them soft.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? We the tough guys on the field. Y'all just put your hands up and try to stop us. One of
the most dangerous and electrifying quarterbacks grew up in a one-parent household. That's Michael Vick. Michael Vick.
Get that.
One of the toughest.
And Michael Vick ain't got one ring.
You use that example. Also, so I'm gonna say this. Warren Moon come from a two-parent household. You think Warren Moon would ever be somewhere fighting dogs?
Right, I agree. But what I'm saying is this. What Deion did.
Vick was a great quarterback. He came from a single-parent house. Well, there's plenty of examples. We can use LeBron. Right. There's all kinds of examples.
We can.
It's not a perfect science, but what he's saying is more times than not, kids that come from a two-parent household and listen to what he said and have a 3.5 GPA or higher are typically more acclimated to the offensive side of the ball and being able to process a lot of things. As a quarterback, you have to process a lot of stuff. Now, if you got, I don't care, you come from a two-parent household, but you got a 2.2 GPA and you're not doing all the right things. See, y'all gotta take everything with it. Two-parent household, 3.5 GPA, and make smart off-the-field decisions. Those attributes for him, and I don't think he's speaking for all coaches. I don't think he's exposing that. I think he's just talking about himself. But for him,
no, he's talking about how other coaches think.
But
he's in competition with these other coaches, so he knows what they're looking for.
But
you got to think.
Even if that being true, what I'm saying is those attributes typically, it's not a perfect science, but those attributes together typically lead you to being a better quarterback versus the kid who might have the strongest arm, the fastest legs. He might be able to read defenses perfectly, but if he got to go home in the hood and deal with hood stuff, you can't really trust him because he's only good to you when he's on the field. He ain't no good to you if he out on the corner hanging with his boys because he ain't have enough. You know what I'm saying? He don't understand responsibility like that. Again,
what did you say, B-Love?
Go ahead.
I promise you, I get what you're saying. I just still feel like that's a little edgy. I feel like that's too much of going by the book. Because even then, you can have these people that come from a two-parent home, has a high GPA, made better decisions, but when they get in there, because they so damn soft, they easy to influence. So now they on TV for stealing, or dogfighting, or snorting powder, or beating their wives. It's a lot to go with that. I just don't feel like that's fair because you still have a kid that, I mean, I look at my child, prime example. My child graduated high school and college within a 2-week time span. GPA off the chain, got into LSU with no problem. And he basically came from a single parent home, but his daddy was there 24/7. So I don't know if you would call that a single parent home or not,
single
based
income
on the
home, as B-Dub says, single income, not single parent.
If any male or female, mother or father, if you call yourself a single parent, you feel like you're a single parent, I feel like that's your choice and you're doing it on purpose. That's why I know.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm not claiming to be a single parent because I don't feel like I was a single parent.
Right. This is what I'm talking about. I live with my mother. That's why if you notice, I always say single income household. I don't come from a single parent household because I had my village. But even with that, when I played football, I still had a bit of an edge playing on defense. And I don't remember if your son played sports or not, but I promise you, if he played football and he played on defense, regardless of how much his situation was good for him, he's still gonna have a little bit more aggression than a kid who both parents was right there in the house. And that's what Deion.
But then I don't think that's true because you got kids that are in both parents are in the house and the daddy a damn drunk. Or the mama a crackhead, but they still live together. So I'm just saying, how can that, just because they have two parents at home and their GPA is 3.5 and they make good decisions?
They don't have a reason to be as aggressive.
What do you mean they don't have a reason to be as aggressive? If your mama living at the house and your mama a crackhead, why the hell would you not want to whoop everybody else?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you why, because a lot of times in situations like that, especially with boys,
I'm supposed to provide for her by myself. I got a little bit more dog. If it's two, my mom and dad there, they get a good wholesome household.
That's true.
I know. If it's just mama.
But what I'm saying is, if
lay it out. Let's stop playing.
Let me ask y'all this. Would y'all say that 97% of this whole conversation that Deion had with Rich Eisen, you think he's talking about black kids, or we talking about white kids?
Niggers.
He's talking about all, because let me tell you.
Whoa,
hold on. Let me tell you.
Whoa, he's talking about you naggers. You naggers.
No, let me tell you, because this is the lie. This is the lie that black people believe. You got to understand, 70% of people that are on welfare are white, not black. If you listen to the media will have you believe that 99% of people on welfare are black single mothers. But that is not the case.
Now that's true.
Most of the people on welfare are white. There's a lot of white kids that come from single parent households, but we don't know about it because I'm gonna throw this out there too, and people can feel how they want to feel about it. Now, I will say this, and I'm gonna get back to my point. White women understand the importance of a father. That's why a lot of times white kids be in two-parent households, but they not in two-parent biological households. Because white girl get pregnant, if her and her baby daddy don't work out, she gonna find somebody to marry her some way, somehow. She gonna get her kids a daddy. Most of my white friends that grew up were all in two-parent households, but half of them were two-parent, step-parent households. See, they don't count that part, right? So they do that. They use the numbers to make us look bad. But I promise you, there's a lot of single white women out there with kids, and them white boys feel just like we do. Coming from that, they trying to save mama. They trying to get mama out the trailer park. We don't know because we in the hood. We think it's just us because they just put us in the hood. But guess what? There's a whole nother hood we don't know about. It's a bunch of 10 houses sitting on dirt with wheels up under them. That's where the white boys come from. They come from the trailer park. They trying to get mama out of that single wide. Shit, if they can't get in a house, at least get in a double wide. You know what I'm saying? So that be them offensive linemen. That be them big hog dogs on that offensive line, right? But the defense, a lot of the black kids on the defensive side of the ball, because a lot of us come from situations like that where we grow up in the hood. Because even again, I use myself as an example. My father was there. I had uncles, older siblings, all of that stuff, all that male energy, along with a whole bunch of female energy. I had a good upbringing, but we still lived in the hood. I didn't want my mama living in the hood. And when you go out there and then you see them kids on the other side and they trying like, for some of these kids, football is the only way to get mama out that hood. Football is the only way to get mama off of crack, and mama is a crackhead. I got to get her some help. I got to get her out the hood. I got to get daddy in rehab to get him off of this alcohol. So it just, I don't know why, I can't really explain it, but it just do something different to you. So now that's me. And I had a good circle. So now imagine these kids that don't have that only got mama. All they got is mama. That's it. Them kids will fucking break you in half on that field because that's going to lead them to getting mama out the hood. That's going to lead them to mama not having to work 3 jobs no more. That's going to lead them to not feeling embarrassed when you roll up in the grocery store and she get up there and pull out that white card with that red star on it. That's what they fighting for. This is what Deion talking about.
The cars are yellow now.
I will say this. I can understand people saying that, yeah, but he shouldn't have said that, because it is kind of because you're kind of making fun of the situation. So I get it from that aspect and say maybe he probably should not have said that. But at the same time, he said it. So now we're talking about it and I understand what he's saying and I agree with what he's saying.
Ooh, okay. Well, the way he had the discussion with Rich Eisen, he couldn't have been talking about nobody. You know how it is. You know, as long as you're talking bad and down about black folks, oh man, you got a platform to stand on. You can't talk about white folks like that though. It won't happen. Rich Eisen wouldn't have been no laugh. He wouldn't have been laughing if had he been talking about white folks. He wouldn't have been laughing.
Right. Huh? And you know what? I can say now that Charles, the way you explained it, I can see things from a different, perspective. I just wish he wouldn't have used that platform to do it. Like, I feel like that's
fair.
More of a private type discussion, I mean, now that I know that, and if I had a son that was coming up and was interested in football and could most likely go to the league like that, I would be in some kind of way offended now that I know that what you're looking for with this. Because to me, and the reason why I say that to say this, you looking for a monster, but when he becomes the monster that you want him, you secretly held him to be off the field. Once he makes it, then he's a monster in whole. You get what I'm saying? Like, you already knew he was a monster before you even fucking brought him out here. Excuse my French. But now that he out here and he done did some stupid shit, now he's outraged and he's this and he's that. So, but that's what you were looking for. You were looking for that. You came to my doorstep looking for that. And now the reason why I'm saying that is because you can be the most, I look at Michael Vick. You can be the best person in the world and they find one, you can be the best player in the world, best player in the league, and they look for one thing to demonize you and make you somebody that they already knew you halfway were. And they didn't do nothing but add fuel to the fire to make it worse. Because now you call it channeling my anger and finding a way to release it and do it on the field. But what if I'm not playing? Because how many kids get recruited to the NFL that don't really play? So now I got to channel this anger somewhere else because they're not even letting me on the field to play. So now I got this money, I got the car, I got mama out the house, she not smoking crack no more, daddy not drinking, I got all this. And y'all came looking for this monster. So now what y'all gonna do with it?
Man, that's deep right there. I can't even argue that. That's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point.
Man, this could have been a whole show. What we just did, B-Dub.
Hey,
Jeez,
for real.
Yeah, and B-Love came here and set this Southern gun off, along with everybody. Pretty much, said they, spiel and everything like that, man. So